There is 35 days left of this year. How are we going to make the most of it? And a friend of mine pointed out that it's not only 35 days left of this year, it's 35 days left of this decade. Isn't that crazy? It's going to be 2020 in 35 days. So happy Tuesday, happy Thanksgiving week. Some of you may already be taking this week off and enjoying the holiday, maybe just staying inside because it's just started raining and it's cold. I was about to say freezing. It's not freezing, but it's cold, at least here for us Californians. It's cold. And I love this time of year. It's one of my favorite times of year to reflect back at this past year, especially with this month, with the feeling of gratitude and being grateful for everything that's occurred this past year, even the hard stuff. The hard stuff's been tough. For those who know me personally, know what's going on in our life, and then the great stuff like Caden being born in May, and that kind of adjustment. I wonder if you could tell the dark circles under my eyes. Last night was a tough night for us. I think she's going through a growth spurt. But anyway, this is my favorite time of year to reflect, look back, be grateful, and to also crush it for this last month of the year. So here's how I do it. Well, here's how I would do it if I didn't have any plans. So I've been thinking about this, like what would I talk about in this video? Because I have a strategic plan. I have a way to track my goals. I'm journaling. I'm tracking my accomplishments, what I'm grateful for, blah, blah, blah. So I've got that. It's easy for me to reflect back on what's worked and what hasn't worked this past year. But what if you tend to operate with everything in your head? Your business plan is in your head. Somehow you remember your appointments. I don't know how that works. Maybe your appointments are in your calendar, but your plans, your to-do lists, they're either scattered, or your marketing plan, your sales plan is all in your head. You have a plan, it's just not written down, and sometimes it feels a little overwhelming to get all the projects done that you want to complete. Maybe all the ideas you have for your business, maybe new programs or products or services that you'd like to launch for your clients. Maybe you've got that all running in your head, but we don't quite have a written plan yet. So here's what I would do if I didn't have anything written down. What I would recommend is to write it down or to use an app if you're more digitally inclined. But there is something about having a pen to paper and getting those ideas out of your head onto paper. This is just a small piece of paper, but it's what I had next to me. But there's something about getting those ideas out of your head and onto paper that help clears your mind for critical and creative thinking. One of the books that really made the impact in my life is called Getting Things Done. And the author, his name just escaped me. I want to say David Allen. I'm not sure if that's his complete name, but the author of Getting Things Done recommends having everything out of your head onto paper, because our brains aren't necessarily meant to remember all the details of things we have to do today, tomorrow, and all that. Our brains operate the best at critical and creative thinking. So when we're thinking about how can we make this happen? If there's an obstacle that we face, what can we do? So I would recommend, if you're not currently writing things down, to start writing it down. And here's how I would recommend ending this year by, is to review this past year and different aspects of your life and your business, and write down what's worked, what hasn't worked, what would you like to improve for this coming year. And then from that, at the very end, I'm going to show you what to do for December. So, and I'm going to keep this video short, so I'm watching the clock as well. So here are the different categories. You know, I actually have a bunch here, and I'm looking at the time. I may not have the time to mention every single category. So what I'll do is, if you'd like, I can email you my goal sheet and the different categories that I have listed here. maybe that would be the best way. And then I can also comment below of here's some categories to consider. But if you'd like my goal planning sheet, let me know and I'll email it to you. Okay, so let's just pick a couple categories in business and a couple categories in your personal life for time's sake, and then what to do with each of those categories. So I would say probably the two biggest categories that most of my clients come to me for are sales and marketing. So how do I get more clients? How do I increase my revenue, which would come into sales, and then marketing, how to get the word out about my business, how to get more people to see what I have to offer, and so on. So write down sales and marketing, and let's go with sales first. Did you hit your sales goal? Did you have a goal? And really a SMART goal. So SMART goal, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Or was it more like, well, I want to hit 6 figures this year. So that's may not sound like a broad goal or a undefined goal to you, but to me it can be, because how would you make those 6 figures? In what part of your business would you make those 6 figures? Are they the kinds of clients that come in every once a month? Is it a client that buys one product from you, and so on? So we can get more specific with that goal, but that's okay. When it comes to your sales, did you hit your goals for this year so far? If not, what would you like to improve in your sales department of your business for 2020? Yeah, what would you like to improve in your sales for 2020? And what went well? Also acknowledge what went well in your business. What successes did you have? How many new clients did you gain this past year? Okay, the other category I want you to look at is your marketing. So how did you do with your marketing? Have you been consistent with the kind of marketing that you're doing? Do you want to add a new type of marketing that you're already doing? Do you want to improve your results of marketing? And how you can measure the results of your marketing could be how many leads you got. How many prospects did you get from that type of marketing? So for example, let's say you do networking and social media, which is probably the two most common marketing tactics I see my clients may be speaking to, but definitely networking, referrals, and then marketing, excuse me, social media. So how many prospects did you receive from networking and referrals? And then how many prospects did you get from social media? Did that hit your goals? What would you want to improve for 2020? Okay, you got those two down for business. Then let's pick two in your personal life. Let's do self-care and let's do relationships. That can include your family as well, or maybe you want to just put relationships as friendships. But self-care, I don't know if you set a goal for self-care. Some people do. But how was your self-care this past year? Is there something that you'd like to improve or add on to it or remove from your self-care routine for 2020? And then your relationships. I know I'm going through this pretty fast in just the 25 minutes that I have here with you guys. I know we're not going to have that much time for you to journal it down, but at least take notes, and then you could go back to this and journal on this over the weekend. So relationships, or your friendships, or your family, however you want to define that. You may have set a goal for it, you may have not, but again, you could say what I enjoyed from my relationships this past year, and what would I like to improve or get out of it. Get out of it may not be the right phrase, but what would I like to improve with my relationships for this coming year. So those are just two categories of a very varied life that we do have. And just for fun, I've got my niece here. Give me that, yeah. I've got my niece here, and she drew a little avatar for herself. There we go. Isn't that cute? She's so talented. Does your avatar have a name?
Yes.
What's your avatar's name?
Waffle Master.
Waffle Master. So this is Waffle Master.
Why? Why? Why did you ask that question?
Well, avatars need a name. So, okay, so this is your avatar, Waffle Master. So if Waffle Master was looking at this past year, right, past 2019, what was one thing that she really liked about this past year? Drawing. So you really enjoyed your drawing, and look how talented she is. So you thought that your drawing or her drawing was really good for this past year. Is there something, let's look at that a little bit more deeply. What about the drawing was really good this past year?
So hard to think.
First thing that comes to your mind.
Her face.
Her face? You like how the face looks?
Yes.
Yeah, I like it too.
The hair's my favorite.
I like the hair. What do you like about the hair?
It kind of looks like me.
It looks like you. So it's reflective of, well, it is your avatar, so it's based on you. Okay.
It
kind of looks like your hair. All right. So for this coming year, did you realize it's going to be 2020 next year?
Dang, I didn't even know that.
Isn't that cool? I mean, 2020, it's a new decade. Is it your first new decade? It's your first new decade.
Dang!
I know, it's cool. All right. So 2020, what's something that you'd like to improve on or want more of in terms of your drawing for next year?
Have more color. I look like a person from like 1700s.
Well, at least you didn't say 1900s because that wasn't too long ago. Okay, so more color. So having more color, and what would that look like for you, having more color? Like what areas, like the whole picture would be in color?
The cheeks.
The cheeks?
Hair, clothing, shoes, maybe skin color.
Maybe skin color. Okay, so adding more color to her hair, her clothing, her cheeks, and maybe her skin color. Okay. What would you need in order to accomplish that goal?
Colored pencils.
Colored pencils. And do you currently have colored pencils?
Heck no.
No? Do you know someone who does have colored pencils that you could borrow?
You.
Yes. You're definitely welcome. I'll give you my colored pencils. What else would you need so that you can draw with the detail that you have here in more color? Let's say you have the colored pencils. What else would you need?
Black ink.
Black ink. Okay. Based on this, I can tell that you already have black ink. Black ink, colored. So what is this? It's the drawing. How do you need any kind of support on how you're going to draw it? What do you do to improve your drawing? Do you watch videos? Do you read books?
Wait, can I get the one?
No, I'm going to say it right here because we only have about 10 minutes left.
I will mostly say an app called Gotcha Life.
An app. Okay.
I make characters and then I draw them.
Okay, so you already have the software that you need to help you draw this. Okay, cool. So that's the how. And then who do you want to either help you, or either to help you improve your drawing, or maybe who you want to draw or who you want to give your drawings to? Is there any people involved with your drawing?
Actually, I want to give people to I want to give drawings to my friends.
Give drawings to your friends.
Need to ask mom, dad.
Ask your parents.
And Wait, what was that?
What was the question? So are there any people that could be involved in helping you reach this goal of drawing and drawing better with more color, improving your drawing by adding more color? Is it people that you can give the drawings to, people you can ask for advice from, people you could take lessons from?
I can't take lessons because my mom and dad are kind of strict. So I'll mostly say.
So no lessons at this time. Well, I do know someone in your life who's a very good artist. I know two people who are very good artists that you could ask for advice from.
Mom, Isabella, Dad. Wait.
Yeah, your sister and your parents. They could be involved because they're great artists as well.
And Dad went to art school for like probably a year or something.
Uh-huh. Yep, and your father went to art school. Very good. Okay, so that's who. So there's one question I skipped. What's the when? When will you be drawing? How often will you be drawing?
Forever.
Forever, definitely.
Ow.
Do you like drawing after school, on weekends, in the morning? So you like drawing every day?
Yeah.
What time of the day do you usually like to draw?
After school, but
After school?
If it's like Fun Friday and we stay in a classroom,
Mm-hmm.
I would say at school too.
Oh, at school on Fun Fridays. That
And
sounds like it.
Last week, I taught my teacher how to draw an anime girl.
Oh, and you taught your teacher how to draw.
And my friend,
Oh, that's very cool. Okay, so we figured out some more specifics of setting her goal, like who, when, what, how. And that's something that you can do for yourself. Thank you for being my avatar there, my example. So that's what you can do for yourself when you're setting SMART goals for the following year, is evaluate what's working and what hasn't worked, what you want more of from this past year in different categories of your business and your life, and then set your goals for next year and ask yourself the who, what, when, why, how. There's other things that you could look at too, and if you get my goal sheet, you'll see what I have there. But that will help you create more specific goals for your business. Now, I mentioned in the description for this video, as well as the very beginning of this video, is we only have 35 days left in the year. Well, okay, maybe not only have, but we do have 35 days left in this year. How do we make the most of it? And I hope that you are not working this whole 35 days left of the year either. It's the holidays. Hopefully you have a lot of time off. So maybe it's even less than 35 days of working days for you, business days for you. So how do you make the most of the 35 days left of the year? As you evaluate your business and your life in these different categories, pick one project that you would love to accomplish in the next month, that if you just got this one project done, it can make a 20%, 50%, maybe 100% difference in your business, in your revenue, or if you'd like to focus on your personal life, in your life. So what would that one project be? And then break it down from your goals to your action plan, and what will you do each week to get that done before you take the holidays off and enjoy the new year. I hope this was helpful for you. I actually still have a few minutes left here. We went through this pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video, but if you have any questions, I am going to be online for the next 5 minutes or so. Feel free to message me or comment to me. If you'd like my goal planning sheet, just shoot me a message with your email and I'll send it over. And I'll also write down the different categories I have listed here that you can use to evaluate this past year and plan for your next awesome 35 days. Thanks for joining me.